Hello and thank you for joining us on the Monday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. Today on the program, Ohaneze cautioned IPOB against 1 week sit at home during Anambra governorship election. In the aftermath of Oyo Jailbreak, Amotekun deploys personnel in boundary communities as federal government vows to rearrest fleeing inmates. And later on the show, calls for sack of Manchester United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer intensify after 0-5 disgrace by Liverpool. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Chiawo Lamoke Nwako, while Mie Akiri joins us later on sports. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start with politics. Though campaign for the 2023 presidential election is yet to be sanctioned, the groundwork by politicians are already swelling. One of this is the inauguration of State Steering Committee of Tinubu Support Group in Abuja. The committee is to help galvanize support and mobilize Nigerians from all walks of life to join efforts to elect qualified and credible president in 2023. The group also called on the former governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to declare his intention to contest the 2023 presidential election. Let's share the story with you.
The swelling ranks of the Tinubu support group has gathered politicians from across the country to identify with the legacies, philosophy and politics of the former governor of Lagos State and national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. This inauguration of State Steering Committee may be a signal of what is yet to come ahead of the 2023 general election. The Tinubu support group says their intention is to find a credible leader to consolidate and improve on the successes of the Buhari administration.
2 years into the second term of the administration and in line with the constitutional provisions, our party has come to the point once again when it must prepare the grounds for orderly transition from this APC government to another APC government. This is not negotiable. Our party must go into the next elections with the determination to win fair and square. We must mobilize the voters to see the gains of continuity. Our party must give hope that we can continue to provide the greatest good for the largest majority of our people.
We must ensure proper and careful harmonization of all interest groups into a formidable structure and support base. You must ensure a level playing ground, fair representation, and allow all inclusive participation.
Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is yet to openly declare an intention to contest for the office of president, but more and more Nigerians are already declaring their support and readiness to vote for him if he decides to throw his hat in the ring. They all talk about his legacies, accomplishment and achievement as governor of Lagos State, as a politician and philanthropist. Now they want Bola Tinubu to formally announce his presidential ambition.
A Nigeria who understands development, a Nigeria who understands diversity, a Nigeria who understands defense, a Nigeria who understands how to balance budgets. It's time Nigeria elects a tri-sector athlete. We believe, not only senators, many eminent Nigerians are here, those who are occupying offices and those who are not, and even the ordinary street man, because this is politics and it's about our country. The man who is up and the man who is down are all affected by what is happening in the country. And together, we are bringing our thoughts together to say that, look, it is time for us to pay back.
The bridge builder is somebody who has left a lot of legacies when he was the governor of Lagos State. In fact, if you want to look at him, you check the Ministry of Education, you check the legal and judiciary. Tinubu is the only solution to Nigeria. Tinubu is the only person that we believe can do it for Nigeria. Tinubu is the only person that we believe, no matter what, will unify this country.
And as my brother from Sokoto just said now, we don't know a better candidate than Asiwaju.
Of delegates during the next coming primary election. And not only that, we are set to, as usual, give him the highest number of votes so that come 29 May 2023, we will be at the Eagle Square to swear him in.
The array of people present also shows the kind of influence Asiwaju Bola Tinubu wields in the political class. With the inauguration of the State Steering Committee, more Nigerians will be brought on board and co-opted into an army of supporters of Asiwaju Tinubu. Hopefully, this will translate to a majority of votes at the ballot in 2023. Habib Alawal, TVC News, Abuja.
Today, interesting times ahead. Yes. 2023, as we're counting down 400 and something days to that presidential election, and it's going to be very, very interesting. If you look at the caliber of people that have been showing their hands.
Yes, it's going to be an interesting contest, and I can say that the political class is largely, they largely can't wait. They largely can't wait for the contest to begin, for the electoral umpire to say, gentlemen and women, it's time for electioneering campaigns to begin.
No, that would
they are not waiting. They are already laying the foundation for what they would do when the electioneering campaign is officially permitted to take off. So Asiwaju is somebody who is politically very strategic. He chooses his time, he chooses his words carefully, and when the time comes, if he's interested in contesting, he will make it known to his countrymen and women. He has already acknowledged that there is pressure from different quarters that he should contest.
Like this group now?
Yes, this is just
set up a support group.
Yes,
kind of
they
office.
don't want to wait until they say, okay, electionary campaigns can start before they begin doing all this paid work. So they are ready. They have already shown their interest, and I know that the pressure on him to declare his interest in the race will continue from the north, from the west, from the south. But the decision is for the big man to take, whether he wants to have a shot.
Not forgetting another
presidency
from the southwest.
Yes, yes. There are different groups. There are different groups. Those are the ones that you know. There are groups outside of those ones that are also working, even in the north. There are groups that have not been made public, but they are working, trying to get him to throw his heart into the ring. You know, so that's the
only time we tell. Only time we tell. It's just it's going to be very, very interesting. 2023. Yes. It's 2 weeks to the November 6th governorship election in Anambra State, and the atmosphere is yet to ease. The Apex Igbo Social Organization, that's Ohaneze Ndigbo, has cautioned the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, against enforcing its threats of 1 week sit at home during the election. The group insists any declaration that will unleash untold hardship on the people will lead to the collapse of socio-economic activities in the southeast, and that is absurd and wicked. Okay, this has been happening, and now I called my correspondent in Anambra State to me today, and he told me that everything is dead, that nobody is out. I was thinking the situation was going to improve with time, that as the election is drawing near. So I called today, and Bamdele confirmed to me that no, that nobody can come out. Now, it's 2 weeks to that election, and the week of that election, IPOB declared that there will be restriction of the same sit-at-home order. This might have a kind of devastating blow on the election.
Absolutely. You remember the song of Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? What's Going On? It was released in 1971. Nobody seems to know what is going on in Nigeria as far as security is concerned. Yeah, the Ohanese group that, cautioned IPOB, not to go on this 1 week sit at home. It's not the mainstream Ohanese group.
Really? Not the one led by Professor
George Obiozo. Is a Ohanese worldwide.
Oh, you have two different Ohanese.
Yes. Whose secretary is Okechukwu Isiguzo. We are the people that won Ohanese. IPOB. But before now, even the main Ohanese group, led by George Obiozo, and concerned Igbo citizens have been expressing concern over the one Monday sit-at-home directive, which every week paralyzes economic activities in the southeast. They were talked into, abandoning that sit-at-home, but their foot soldiers have never allowed that to happen. Now, we are now coming back to 1 week sit-at-home. Primarily, it is targeted at the Anambra election. Before now, they've been saying there won't be any election in Anambra. But the stakeholders, both the governors and then all the security agencies have been saying that elections will hold. You remember the last meeting the president had with the security chiefs in Abuja last week. He said nothing should stop the Anambra election. So what this means is that it's likely to put the Anambra election in jeopardy. It's likely to, lead to clashes between security agencies and the IPOB group. Is likely to lead to voter apathy, which nobody prays for. If the president has come out to tell the security agencies to ensure that nothing stops the election, that gives you the impression that the whole of Southeast, particularly Anambra, is likely to be militarized. And when that happens, you can guess what is likely to happen. I believe that we still have some time for the dialogue to prevail, to see how IPOB and the authorities can allow reason to prevail. Because I don't see how there won't be, loss of lives if the federal government mobilize the kind of security presence that will be needed to conduct election in Anambra amid this threat. How is that going to lead to, destruction of lives and property? So reason has to prevail in this matter.
Jide, when you look at this situation, we've been talking about how to prevent this from happening. We used to talk about 1 month before, but this is just a week. And that week is so strategic on the 2nd of November. And this will be the week, stretching to the week of the election. And this is going to have a big impact on the election. But no matter how they mobilize, we spoke with the commissioner yesterday. He assured that people were going to come out, Abga people were going to come out. But the psyche of people, no matter how they mobilize, that's it, that fear, the fear factor must still.
No, it's a really confusing situation. The IPOB had come out in the past to say, look, we have revoked the earlier order that people should sit at home on Mondays. People will only sit at home on the days that Kanu will be brought to court. But cultists, criminal elements, and all kinds of people have hijacked the hype-up desire to draw attention to marginalization in the southeast through civil disobedience by going against hype-up's directive, because Mapa, who is the spokesman of hype-up, said no, we'll no longer do sit at home on Mondays. But we can see that it's still being enforced by young men, largely cultists. I heard the governor of Ebonyi saying on one of the TV stations last night that, look, this thing has been hijacked. The cultists are now in control. They are the ones killing people. They are the ones destroying people's business premises on Mondays when such people dare to open for business. So, to make matters worse, IPOP that said that the sit-at-home protest that it is instituted, it has revoked, has now come out to say that unless Kanu is released by November 4, what did they give? I can't remember. That it will not allow elections to, it will order sit at home.
And that's not looking visible. It's released because there's an ongoing trial.
If you read the statement by this Anese group, they are saying that even if they are to get him out of detention, they have to pass through the courts. And it's true. Once you institute a matter before a court of law, the federal government can't simply go and bring him out of custody. No. You have to still the lawyer. Yes, the lawyer has to communicate to the judge.
The next court dates
and you know that the next date is 10th. November 10th. So they still have to pass through the judicial process to say, Judge, sir, this is what
want to discontinue this case.
Both parties have decided to discontinue this case. There is mutual consent that this matter must end. So the lawyers still have to get involved. The judiciary still has to get involved because this matter is already a judicial matter. That is the argument of those guys.
November 10th.
Because that's the next time that the judge will be in court. So I'm happy that Ikwe Kweremadu and others, they are pursuing political solution to this matter. They've been on it for some time. I watch analysts give the impression that leaders in the southeast, they are not saying anything, and I wonder, do these people who make this kind of statements against Igbo leaders, are they current at all? Are they in this country? Because I've heard people like Ike Kremadu, people like Nwodo, a former Ohanese leader himself,
yes,
tell them, these boys, that what they are doing is not right. And then you go on television saying, oh, Igbo leaders are not, they are not condemning what is going on. Who is the person who will be happy about what's going on in the southeast? Who is that person? And all these things that they are saying, they can't back it with facts. You just go on television, you have an opportunity to speak, and then you just say rubbish.
Senator Abaribe himself,
people have been coming, Igbo leaders, I've seen Igbo leaders say, look, gentlemen, we need to address this problem. No matter what we say, oh, this statement could have been issued by another group. But I remember that even the mainstream Ohanese leadership had told them that they should stop, that even Kanu will not be happy to see Igbo people suffer, that this thing should stop. And Ohanese, the mainstream Ohanese leadership, was part of those who piled the pressure, including us, that the DSS must produce Kanu in court, so that the threat of 21 days sit at home will not be actualized. So to simply sit on in the studios in a TV station and be accusing the leadership of a race giving the impression that they are the ones encouraging these boys, that they are not appealing to them, is unfair. It's really unfair, and it's against, completely against the reality of this.
Okay, I have Emmanuel calling us from Owerri.
Hi guys, good evening.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, how you doing, Baba Jide, still your friend?
Good evening, Jerry.
Well, I don't know how to say this again, but it's really unfortunate. As I speak to you now, this unfortunate commentary has changed the calendar in the Southeast. Schools are readjusting.
Really?
School is now Tuesday to Saturday. I'm telling you the truth.
Tuesday?
Most mechanics, yes, schools are now Tuesday to Saturday. Most mechanics come out to work on Sunday. So even if this is resolved, psychologically it has permeated into the psyche of the people that before it's resolved, you know, it's going to take a lot of time. That is the truth. Things are changing. So it requires urgent intervention.
Mondays have been paralyzed.
These days you said you have what you call them orientation agencies in the Southeast. People that are going to move in, one, they say they need what do you call it? They need the government to, what do they say they want again? The iPod. They want, I'm trying to get
referendum.
Referendum, thank you, that's the word. Referendum, if you understand it, referendum is even done through election. You don't just wake up in a market square and say, take a referendum. Call one iPod member or a youth in Ebola and say, what is referendum? He doesn't know. Or he had his leader say referendum. Referendum is a form of election. I can decide to vote against it, especially with what is happening now. And whoever that needs to talk to them that creating further violence is damaging Nnamdi Kalu's case. Because everything that happened now, they will heap it on him. So the more you are burning, the more you are destroying. In fact, the federal government is now like scouting and trading for charges to heap more on him. If there is a period to leave emotion and work more with strategy, it should be now. Like going about a referendum. This person say referendum, no election. And let me warn, whether you come out or you not come out, 14th morning they will declare result. The person, whoever that more than every other person, will become the governor.
I think there are still leaders in the Southeast, credible leaders like former Governor Ezife, who can be relied upon to talk to these boys. And that's what the commissioner said, that look, before the election, they are confident that
they'll reach out to them.
They will be able to reach out to these boys so that they will have peace. But I'm confident that, look, if we bring enough security personnel to Anambra State, the people will feel free to come out and vote. It is when the streets are empty that people will be scared. So let us secure the election.
I have to quickly take this break. We'll take this break. When we come back, we'll discuss more. Please stay with us. Still on to journalist Hangout. Okay. Now, people are talking about referendum, but this is strange to the 1999 Constitution. There's nothing like a referendum in the 1999 Constitution. So how do we go about this? A lot of people, they keep calling for this referendum to say maybe they should stay in Nigeria or to go. But our Constitution, there's nothing like that there. So don't you think that this might be an exercise in fertility when you keep calling for a referendum?
It's a tall order. It's a tall order. You know, talking about referendum within the context of, you know, what we have today, that you have a federation, you know, operating a constitution that doesn't contain such thing. The argument of IPOB, I'm not trying to play devil's advocate here, is that that constitution is a fraud because of the fact that it was a military creation. You know, that since they want to exit from the Nigerian Federation, then the United Nations should come in to come and conduct a referendum.
Nation.
And this cannot happen in a sovereign state. It cannot happen in a sovereign state where United Nations will just, walk in and do that. So that is why it's a difficult, condition they are giving, So it's very difficult.
All right. Okay. Moving on now. The third jailbreak in Africa, a most populous country this year, is raising more concern about how safe detention facilities are in Nigeria after the attack on Abolongo Custodial Centre in Oyo State. Oyo State, the field commander of Amoteku Corps, that's in Oyo State, Amitolu Shitu, said men of the Corps have been deployed to some villages at the boundary of the two states to ensure the arrest of fleeing inmates. Meanwhile, Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola vowed that all the inmates who escaped from the center will be recaptured. Judy, this is the issue of jailbreak to overrun, any jail now, prison facility or correctional facility now is now like becoming very cheap. I remember before the NCoS protest, or during the NCoS protest in Benin, there was a major jailbreak. Yes. It's just a matter of getting enough of these hoodlums and ammunition, and they get the job done. Explosives and everything. The one of Owerri too, another one in Kogi State, So it's now like a major business now when they have any of their people.
Once they have a good number of their people at a location, they know that the security is usually not sufficient. That is a fact. The security is usually not sufficient. When they try to overrun Ikoyi prison during the NCoS Wahala, of course you saw that they could not do it. Somebody said the other day that the riots happened after the shooting at Lekki. Of course, that's not correct. The prisons were breached, security at prisons were breached before the shooting at Lekki. The attack on Ikoyi prison that was repelled happened before the shooting at Lekki. I mean, the facts are there. We are historians. So if we will not provide enough security at our prisons, then some of these guys, hardened criminals, would easily be let loose by their comrades at arms, by their colleagues. Look at what happened. There was in one of the prisoners who got away when the prison at in Edo State was overrun. Look at what he did. He went straight to his village. The woman that testified against him, that got him convicted for murder, was the first person
killed the woman
that he killed. So they are going around like that. Weapons that were looted from police stations, they are using those weapons to overrun correctional centers, or what do we call them now? So how do we lock away criminals when at every opportunity a band of criminals can just gather themselves and go straight to a place where the rest of them are being locked up to free them? I mean, this is really shameful. If we have prisons located in a community, there has to be sufficient security. What's going on?
I don't think the Ministry of or the Prison Correctional Centre, I don't think they have enough of these security guys. They have the manpower to actually man all prisons.
That's the problem, because with the picture you just painted, in the last 10 months, we've witnessed 3 jailbreaks. This is compounding the security challenge that we have, both from the point of view of the citizens and even the security agencies. These criminals are let loose into the society.
Dangerous criminals.
You know, and if you've read account of some of them, once they get back to the society, within 2 weeks, they go back to the same crime. Either as kidnappers or as armed robbers. You know. So the question is, why is it that the Ministry of the Interior Ministry, you know, is allowing this to happen on a regular basis? It has become like kidnapping and armed robbery, that we all have become inured to it. Once it happens, you know, we take it as if it is part of our existence. Nobody cares.
And we don't get, do we get updates?
You know,
those that are returning?
How can you get all of them?
The minister is providing updates.
They provide updates, but
like Imo State now want to know were they able to capture the 1,900 guys?
They can't get everybody.
They can't capture everybody.
Everybody cannot be got.
The intention was not, if the intention was to let you be able to recapture some, they would not have gone there. Once they breach the prison, some of them will be taken far away from that location. Even
some will move outside the country. I remember reading the newspaper story a few days after the Owerri incident. Some of them were captured, you know, in one of the rivers in Ghana. When they escaped through the Niger Delta creeks, you know, found themselves to Cameroon, from there, got to Ghana. So, anytime there is a jailbreak, you can be sure that not all of them will be, you know, come back, and that endangers the lives of the society.
Some of these guys are even on death row.
Yeah,
they've been sentenced to death by the final court and everything, and they're very, very dangerous to society.
Very dangerous. Even people who are not criminals, who are not hardened criminals, because our correctional centers are bursting at the seams. They are not, the prisons are not places where you can properly even positively change the psyche of most people.
Yes.
They are dirty, they are overcrowded.
Yeah.
So when people get there, and then there are structures in place there that ensure that even if you are, maybe you are not a hardened criminal, you are picked up for wandering, by the time you come out of prison, you can actually graduate to an armed robber.
Yes, it will. Yes.
So
there are people who have been arrested who said that they joined an armed robbery gang right there in prison. They met one another in prison. So what needs to be provided? I expect the minister to have a meeting with the armed forces, with the the GOCs. I said GOCs, the service chiefs, and even the IG, so that security can then be beefed up. I know that it's very challenging at this time. The army is overstretched. But what we had in Kaba, you know, was a case of just a few soldiers guiding the prison, and they killed those soldiers and succeeded. So if we have enough and they are well armed, and you position maybe an armored tank or an APC, you position an APC in front of a prison, it will serve as a deterrent.
I'm telling you.
As a country, we should be able to sufficiently protect our prisons. If our prisons become so easy for all comers, as we are seeing now, then we are in trouble.
Some people will even ask that, what is the Nigeria Correctional Centre? What is this arm? What is it doing on the exclusive lists? That most of those prisons, they've been built, you know, they've been abandoned. They are not even intended. I think Akpabio tried to build another prison during his own
modern prison
during his own time, because they need to refurbish it. Now the concept of changing it from Nigerian Prison Service to the Nigerian Correctional, you know, so whatever it is now, that purpose would have been defeated.
Yeah. So
the way I'm saying it, once you still breed hardened criminals from this system, it's not correcting anything.
There's no correction that is going on there. With the picture Jide painted, somebody who was not an armed robber going in there, coming out and becoming one. So federal government was just playing with words by saying they don't want to call them prisons, but correctional centers. No correction is going on there. The fact is that there is hardly anything we can get right in this country. If you read the response of the Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, over the recent jailbreak in Oyo, he ordered that it is now that CCTVs will now be mounted in those areas and then linked to the situation room in government house. Which means if you have a prisons or correctional centers where you don't have CCTV that can help you monitor this kind of attack, that can help you trace those people who came to attack and those who escaped. What measures have you really put in those places to ensure that there is security? He even said now they are going to grade the place, which means that the road leading to that place may not have been motorable. You know, as to call for intervention when there is an attack. So we have a lot more to do in making sure that these places serve as places where suspects and criminals are kept. Once you get them, you know, where they were over 180 something in Benin, over 1,000. Another, see all these people emptied into the society, compounding the security challenge that we have. So the Ministry of Interior, which Arabashela is a minister, should do more. He should be concerned that on his watch, in 10 months, 3 jailbreaks have happened in Nigeria. Elsewhere, if you're a public officer in his shoes, you resign or you get sacked.
But they are products of the insecurity in our country.
You know,
so it's not entirely his fault.
I know, but more should be done. What needed to be done?
If he simply resigns for that, then what should the IG do?
You know,
the IG didn't resign.
All of them should
Service chiefs didn't resign. It's not some of those situations had been there even before it became. No matter the insecurity in our country, and that's why I'm saying that he has to find a way to meet with those people that, look, this is my job, I don't want to fail. I don't like to see jailbreaks happen. I need you to provide me with greater security. Governors are talking to the president, asking for thousands more soldiers. You had the case of the Zamfara governor who appealed to the president to give him a few thousands of soldiers just to improve security in that area. This is what the minister has to do. He has to meet with the people concerned that provide the kind of security that can withstand these people when they come. And then we also must be in a position to, when there is a problem like that, respond, get a rapid response team to go and beef up security. That usually doesn't happen. So they get overwhelmed and that's the end.
All right. A 5-0 thrashing of Manchester United by Liverpool at Old Trafford has piled the pressure on the Fire manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after the match, which saw Mohamed Salah score a hat-trick and Paul Pogba sent off. Fans intensified their calls for the sack of Solskjaer, and a hashtag Ole is trending again. Mie Akiri is joining us. That's quite scandalous from the Old Trafford.
Embarrassing. Humiliation. 5-0. 66 years. We've not seen something as heavy as that at Old Trafford. The attitude of the players, nothing to write home about. Cristiano Ronaldo, sentimentally, wasn't sent off the pitch by the referee. which speaks volume of what Manchester United looks like under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And for those who want him out,
the reason he was not sent forth. The reason he was not sent forth was it was the ball that he kicked. That was the reason, and he got a yellow. If he had kicked that youngster directly, he would have been sent forth.
The manner at which...
No, you can get angry. You can get angry, and that's why he got a yellow. We've seen players, we've seen a clash of heads not lead to red cards. So it's debatable whether it should have. Commentators, because I listen when I'm watching.
Were you expecting this result?
No, I wasn't expecting the result. I expected a defeat, but not this kind of result. I listen to commentary when I'm watching a match. But those guys who run the commentary were once players, and they understand the game. When they took a second look at that incident, the guy said he got away because he kicked the ball. The ball was trapped between the turf and the player's body. So he kicked that ball in anger. That was what saved him. If he had kicked the guy directly, kicked his body, go and watch the tape again. It would have been a red. But he still got a yellow card for lashing out.
I quite agree. But with that debate, Ronaldo could have easily or mistakenly kicked the player.
What went wrong with Manchester United? How do you lose scandalously to your biggest rival?
Well, I feel a lot has changed at Old Trafford today. I will start with what I would describe as waste of talents. Jadon Sancho is yet to have a role to play, to own up that, I am Sancho, and I've come to Manchester United to live up to the billing of how much United have spent on him. Only. Secondly, Cavani has been displaced by Cristiano Ronaldo, and then you have a Greenwood who's yearning for more games. He wants to play. But because you have a manager to a large extent, you have a manager who to a large extent, tactically is deficient. I feel there is no better time to let Ole leave than now, because I don't think Ole will survive the next 7 games at Old Trafford.
Everyone is blaming the coach. How about the players?
Well, the bigger chunk of the blame should go to the coach. He's tactically arid. He has nothing to offer tactically. He's full of himself. He already imagines that because he came second last year, then he's the best thing since sliced bread. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not good enough, even for the championship. He has never won anything as a coach. Those who are supporting him sentimentally because he scored the winning goal when Manchester United won the Champions League in 1999. But after that, Manchester United has won the Champions League in 2008. They won the World Club Championship after that. So Manchester United has recorded even greater honors after what he did against Bayern Munich. So it's just not good enough. Some of us have said that, look, this guy, they should let him go. In fact, after I watched the final of the Europa Cup, I knew that Manchester United had a coach who is at best an artisan. He's not better than an artisan by the roadside inflating tires. He's not good enough to be a coach, and he's been mortally exposed. Go and watch Poskos. Poskos said, you are jubilating because you got a win against Atalanta. Play like that first half against Liverpool or Man City, you'll be 4-0 down and there's no coming back from you. Everything that Poskos said was prophetic. That was what we saw on Sunday. He was being slagged by people who felt that as a Manchester United legend, at any point he must back his club. No, that's not the way it should be. There are times when you have to say the truth. The problem is he has an array of stars now that I doubt if he can truly manage. The egos, you must be able to manage the egos in the news, in the dressing room. And when Johan Cruyff was coach of Barcelona, you know what he would say to them? He said, look, you'll never be as good as I am. I'm among the 3 best players to play the game. So at your best, you are not even as good as I am. It will first tell you before dressing you down and correcting you. Can Ole Gunnar Solskjaer even talk to people like Pogba and the rest of them? And then we have egos now. We have someone like Cavani, Pogba. These are big players. Cavani is being made to sit down now because you have signed Ronaldo. Another coach will find a way to accommodate both men. Cavani can do what Ronaldo cannot do. Because pressing, there was no pressing in that game. Why does Liverpool win games? They get the pressing right. Man City gets the pressing right. Because if you allow teams to simply run at you without adequate pressing, then you are going to be well beaten.
Okay, what happened next if Solskjaer is sacked? Who and who are the coaches available?
Well, a few coaches, have been touted to indeed replace Solskjaer if he's sacked. One of them is Conte. Part of what Solskjaer lacks is the winning mentality in terms of experience, winning trophies. And if you have players like Cristiano Ronaldo who have won Ballon d'Ors, Champions League trophies and the likes, as a manager, how do you talk to them? Pep Guardiola in the dressing room of Manchester City once said, "Is there Lionel Messi in this dressing room?" And they all said no. And he told them, if there is no Lionel Messi, there is nobody I can put on the bench except for a Messi. These are things world-class managers will say to players in the dressing room. But I doubt if Solskjaer can do that, to the likes of Pogba. It's impossible.
Doesn't have that clout.
He doesn't have it because that's when, the issue of player and manager challenge or issues will start. And when the fans turn their back against you, it's the end of the manager. The goal, humiliation started as early as the 5th minute. At the end of the first half, it was 4-0. The fans booed their players as they walked down the tunnel, for the second half. And at full time, Old Trafford was half empty. So when you begin to see signs like this, you know you are at the end of the reign. And Conte says he's interested, but the biggest challenge is who would have the final say when it comes to buying of players. And that's what he wants.
Why is it difficult for Manchester United to do away with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? As in, the handwriting is written on the wall that, look, this guy is not competent enough, and they would have left him, sacked him before now.
No, the owners of the club are businessmen.
The Glazers.
The club, it came in when the club was in 6th place. He got the club to 3rd place. He got the club to 2nd place. By their own reckoning, that's improvement. Whichever way you look at it, it looks like improvement. The improvement, the climbing of stairs to 2nd position may look like a great achievement, but it covers the inadequacies of the man. The truth is, the way Man U was playing 2 seasons ago, pressing from beginning to the end, we are not seeing it anymore.
As part of having,
we are not seeing it. So right now, every sensible Manchester United supporter believes that there has to be a change. All those guys, like former players like Gary Neville, Ferdinand, and the rest of them, it's just emotions that are getting them to support the coach. And the board too is reluctant to do away with him because they also don't want to offend these ex-players. The ex-players are very influential, they are strong, they don't want to offend them.
Does he still have
but
the
results
of Sir Alex?
He has not publicly gone against him. So one can say that he's still supporting him. And Ole Gunnar and Sir Alex doesn't like coaches being sacked quickly. He too should have been sacked a long time before he won his first trophy. So now there are coaches like Erik Ten Hag of Ajax. The only problem with that would be the best coach for Manchester United, Erik Ten Hag
of
Ajax. But the problem is that he will not want to leave until the end of the season. But you have a very successful coach in Conte is won the league 3 times with Juve, came to England, won the league and the FA Cup with Chelsea, went back to Italy and won the league again with Inter Milan. Is ready, but the problem is his playing style. He plays the 3-5-2. Manchester United have sufficient riches in wingers. If he comes, then he will ditch wing play. People like Rashford, people like Sancho, they will not fit into his own playing model. That is a problem that the board has to look at.
What's the likes of Zinedine Zidane?
There are reports that a Ronaldo wants Zidane to come in because his work with him performed. And you should also understand the influence, big players have in the dressing room. We saw that when Mourinho was at Manchester United. When Mourinho began to have issues with Pogba and results wasn't coming his way anymore, that was the end of his reign. Results aren't coming, the way of Solskjaer. Next you have Spurs. You also have the derby against Manchester City. Watford can be very tricky. You can't predict them. Chelsea after that, and Arsenal. I don't think United will get anything different from what we've seen.
So they will lose 5-0. That's what you are saying.
No. I'm talking about a loss. A loss is a loss.
He may even get.
It may not be 5-0.
He may even get results against Tottenham. He may even get results against Man City, because Pep has never beaten Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the league. In fact, his last 3, he beat Ole Gunnar. He beat Pep home and away.
With the trend of this United side, in 9 games they've lost 5 times. Confidence is low. That's my worry. You
have a point. You have a point. Though you are national supporter, my greatest concern is the Arsenalization of Man U. You are now becoming like Arsenal that gets beaten 3-0, 4-0.
That's unfair on Arsenal.
When you look at Arsenal's record against Bayern Munich, it's like 5-0. 4-0, 5-0.
But in fairness,
Lampard now reminded me that are we going the way of Arsenal? That is my greatest concern.
Thank you, Mia Akiri.
Always a pleasure.
I want to thank Shawo Lamoke Wankwo for coming in earlier, and Babajide Kolade Otitoju. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11, and don't forget to join us on Sunday for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. See you tomorrow, and God bless Nigeria.